Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Now today I just wanted to go through something really quick with you that is not only easy to learn, but something that's very commonly used in Spanish, and also something that is set up similar to how we say things in English, and something that you can add into your Spanish conversation straight away. So what am I talking about? Okay, I'm talking about learning the past progressive tense in Spanish using the verb estar. So previously we went through the present progressive tense in Spanish using estar. Now if you don't know how to do that one, I did a quick 3 or 4 minute video on that one before. I'll leave a link in the description box for you below as well, because I really would recommend learning the present progressive tense before jumping into the past progressive tense. So first, before we continue, what are some examples of the past progressive tense in English? So think of these examples. I was eating, I was living, I was working, I was singing. Okay, now these are all examples of the past progressive tense. So why is learning this in Spanish useful? Okay, long story short, it'll just make it easier for you to express yourself when you're talking about events that have happened in the past. So now, what do we do? Okay, first up, just like the present progressive tense, we use the verb estar. This time we have to conjugate it in the imperfect tense. So let's start with the yo form. What is the yo form of estar in the imperfect tense? Cool, nice and easy. We've learned it before. Yo estaba. So yo estaba. Now we have to conjugate the next verb that goes along with it. So think of it in English as in adding on the ing onto that verb. So remember, using AR verbs we go ando, and using ER and IR verbs we go yendo. So for example, if you wanted to say I was eating, how would you translate that? Cool, so you'd say estaba comiendo. So estaba comiendo. Let's try an AR verb. I was working. Estaba trabajando. So estaba trabajando. What about I was living? Cool. Estaba viviendo. So estaba viviendo. All right, one more. AR verb. I was singing. Yep. Estaba cantando. So estaba cantando. All right, pretty simple, isn't it? All right, now what do we do? Now, obviously we have to practice adding these into our Spanish conversation. So what I'm going to do now is give you a couple of exercises. I want you to translate these sentences. Right, so as always, guys, if you do need more time, I'm going to give you about 4 or 5 seconds to think of how to translate it. But if you do need more time, feel free to pause the video if you need to. All right, numero uno. My girlfriend was cooking while I was working. Awesome. So you'd say, mi novia estaba cocinando mientras yo estaba trabajando. Otra vez, mi novia estaba cocinando mientras yo estaba trabajando. So that's a good one, because you can see in that example, we did have to actually specify who we're speaking about, because in the imperfect tense, the yo form and the el or ella form is exactly the same. Numero dos. Let's say you're speaking with someone else and they were speaking about their time in London, and you wanted to ask, what were you doing in London? Cool. So you'd say, ¿qué estabas haciendo en Londres? So, ¿qué estabas haciendo en Londres? All right, we're working well. Let me chuck in a regular verb at you this time, just to make it a little bit trickier. Last night, I was reading a new book. Cool, so you'd say, anoche estaba leyendo un libro nuevo. So, anoche estaba leyendo un libro nuevo. Cool, so the verb leer is irregular in this tense, as well as a few other verbs in there as well, which I would encourage you to do your research on. Alright guys, so that is all from me for today. So again, another really useful tense, because it can really help you express yourself a little bit more when you're speaking in the past, but also it's really easy to learn, so it's really easy to add into your Spanish conversation as well. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Hasta pronto.